I never thought that 2025 would be the year my life ended. It began like any other day, the sky clear, the roads wet from a morning storm, and my mind busy with everything I had to do, deadlines, calls, meetings. My thoughts were full of the noise of the world. I was alive, but not really living, and then in one single instant, everything changed. I was driving down the highway when I saw the truck. It came out of nowhere, fast, out of control, its tires screaming against the wet asphalt. I tried to turn the wheel, but it was too late. The crash was violent. Glass shattered, metal folded, and I remember my head slamming against something hard. Then, silence. No pain, no sound, just silence. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the middle of the road, but everything around me was still. The rain hung in the air like frozen glass. The cars didn't move, and when I looked toward my car, I saw my own body slumped against the steering wheel. It didn't make sense. I shouted, but no. One heard me. I ran toward the paramedics who were arriving, but they passed right through me like mist. That's when I realized I wasn't alive anymore. Then I felt something behind me, a pull, gentle but powerful, like the ocean drawing me upward. I turned, and there it was, a light, pure and alive, stretching beyond sight. It wasn't just bright, it was aware. It was calling me. I remember thinking, this must be death, but instead of fear, I felt peace. I rose higher and higher until the world below me vanished. The light surrounded me completely, and within it I began to see colors and shapes that don't exist on Earth. Living colors that breathed, music that was light, light that sang. And then, in that radiant expanse, I saw him, Jesus. He wasn't a distant figure or a painting. He was real, more real than anything I had ever touched or felt. His eyes met mine, eyes filled with eternity, with fire and gentleness at the same time. I fell to my knees, unable to speak. He reached out his hand and lifted me up. When he touched me, every memory, every pain, every hidden sin flashed before me like lightning, but instead of condemnation, I felt love washing through me, wave after wave. He said, in a voice that was both thunder and whisper, "You have been living in the noise of this world, but now you will see what is coming." In an instant, everything changed. I was standing above the earth, looking down from the edge of eternity. The world was turning. Oceans, cities, continents, but then I saw darkness spreading like smoke. Storms, earthquakes, fire, nations in confusion, people running, screens glowing in every home, filled with fear and lies. And Jesus said, "This is the shaking. Everything that can be shaken will be shaken. What is built on sand will fall, but what is built on me will stand." I saw the ground split open. I saw buildings crumble. And yet, amidst the chaos, I saw something else. Millions of people crying out to heaven. They weren't praying for money or fame or comfort. They were praying for forgiveness. I saw small groups gathered in homes, fields, even broken streets, worshipping, crying, confessing, and every time they called his name, light burst out of the darkness. Then he showed me another vision, a great light rising in the east. I saw people from every nation turning their faces toward it. The light wasn't from the sun, it was from him. He turned to me and said, "Tell them I am coming soon. Tell them not to fear the darkness, for the light is already among them. The harvest is near, but few are awake." Tears streamed down my face. I told him I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to leave this place of peace. I could feel love itself flowing through me, perfect, endless, complete. But he looked at me with those same eyes of mercy and said, "There is still time for many, but not much. Go, tell them. I will be with you." And then I fell. It was like being pulled through a tunnel of wind and sound. I could hear voices praying, faint at first, then louder. My chest burned, my eyes opened. I gasped for air. The paramedics jumped back in shock. One of them said, "He's back, he's breathing." They told me later that I had no pulse for 17 minutes. They were about to give up. But someone, brought me back. I spent weeks recovering. The doctors called it a medical miracle, but I know better. I know who gave me life again. And ever since that day, I haven't been the same. I see the world differently now. Every headline, every disaster, every moment of chaos, it's not random. It's the shaking he showed me. And in the middle of it, I hear his words echoing in my heart. Tell them I am coming soon. To anyone watching this, maybe you're afraid of what's happening in the world. Maybe you've lost faith. Maybe you feel like it's too late. Listen, he hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't turned his face away. I died in 2025, and I met Jesus. He told me what's coming next. And it's not the end of hope. It's the beginning of awakening. The storms will come, the systems will fall, but those who stand in his light will not be shaken. You still have time. That's the message he gave me. That's why I came back. Because when I stood before him, I understood. The greatest tragedy isn't death, it's living without knowing him.